Welcome back. A little digression here for a few minutes. We talk about David and consider the question, is David a real person? A real king? I mean, is this really history? Earlier we talked about the features of ancient Hebrew history, and here in the David narrative, I'd like to revisit the topic briefly. There are a number of scholars who still claim that David and Solomon are fictional characters. The question of their historicity was really a dead issue. I think I mentioned Phil Davies from Sheffield and his conclusion in that article in Biblical Archaeologist Review that, quote, David's about as historical as King Arthur. And I mentioned the names of scholars like Niels Peter Lemke at Copenhagen and Tommy Thompson, also at University of Copenhagen. They would surely concur. Remember, we noted that unless an account in the Bible had adequate external witness, it was automatically suspect. And that the Bible claims to report supernatural events renders it ahistorical, not historical by definition. Well, back to David and the question, was he real? Was he historical character? In the late 1860s, a stone inscription that we call the Moabite stone or the Mesha Stele was discovered, and in the ensuing dispute between the Bedouin and the Ottoman government over ownership, the Bedouin broke the stone, but it survived, and the inscription describes the Israelite oppression of Moab by Omri and his son. Now, his son is not named in the stele, at least what remains. In 2001, my professor Anson Rainey argued that the phrase Ar al Davidah in line 12 refers to an altar hearth of David that was at Atarot, a town captured by King Mesha, that he dragged before Chemosh at the town of Keriot. And later in line 31, it reads, and as for Avronen, the Beit David, the house of David, dwelt in it while it fought with me in Chemosh. So here we've got in one document two references to David, but by the way, this extra biblical evidence, when it doesn't suit the theory of minimalists such as Thompson or Lemke, they just dismiss it as allegory. And Thompson claims that the reference to Omri, the king of Israel, belongs to the theological world of Narnia. So, you can imagine the interest that was piqued among archaeologists and historians when, in 1993, the excavations at Tel Dan, when Avram Biran and Joseph Nave and the Hebrew Union College team was working there, and they uncovered a fragment of a basalt stele by the wall near the inner gate and the throne. And this inscription refers to the situation at the time of Jehu's revolt around 841 BC. And the fragment reads in part, my father went up against him when he fought at blank, and my father lay down and went to his ancestors, and the king of Israel entered previously in my father's land. Hadad made me king, and Hadad went in front of me, departed from 7 of my kingdom, and slew 70 kings who harnessed thousands of chariots and thousands of horsemen. I killed Jehoram, son of Ahab, king of Israel, and I killed Ahaziah, son of Jehoram, king of the, and this is what's highlighted, king of the house of David. And I set their towns into ruins and turned their land into desolation. So, here are extra biblical witnesses to the house of David. Does this conclusively prove to the satisfaction of all that David and Solomon were actual historical characters? No. But is there sufficient evidence for an Israelite kingdom in the mountains of Israel in the 10th century BC? The answer to that is yes. And given the archaeology and now this Mesha, Stele, and the recently discovered epigraphic evidence at Tel Dan, it's more plausible than ever to link the data of the biblical history of the Israelite monarchy in the 10th century BC to the kingdom of David and then Solomon. Think about it. We'll see you in a bit.